Good morning. Happy Sunday. Here I am out in the garden. It was chilly last night. It was about 40 degrees. Ooh. So it's still too early for the tomatoes and peppers to go in the ground. The first thing I do in the morning as soon as I'm up and dressed is I come out to the greenhouse and I take the tomatoes out of the greenhouse and I put them out here in the sun and the wind. Unless it's raining. Light rain, yes, but a heavy rain, I leave them in the greenhouse and just open the door for air. And I do that every day so that they can harden off before I plant them. But it's still too cold to plant them, too cold at night. It should be at least 55 consistently at night before I plant them in the ground. And the soil temperature should be at least 60, 65 would be better. So we'll take a temperature reading of the soil and see what the soil is, but I'm guessing it's still too cold. Things are still too cold for tomatoes, but they're getting pretty big. I'll show you. They're getting pretty big, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do at this point. See, I started them too early. I shouldn't have started them so early. Anyway, here it is the weekend. Yesterday was Saturday. Tom surprised me with tickets to Hamilton in San Francisco. So we went to Hamilton and it was really, really fun. A great show, very different, reminded me of kind of like an opera in that you have to listen for a while to a sort of a new language, even though it's in English. It felt a little bit like a new language that I had to become accustomed to before I could really get into it. And then once I was into it, I was totally in for the ride and it was great. So that was fun, but we didn't do anything in the garden. So today is garden day, work day, and I'm ready to go. So come along, let's see what there is to see in the garden this week. So here we are at the greenhouse. This is where the tomatoes and peppers spend their nights. I've just opened the door and there's beautiful sun rising in the east over here, so I'm going to take the tomatoes out and put them out in the sun and the wind and let them get hardened every day. They're pretty big and they're pretty beautiful, aren't they? I'm really pleased with the way the system has turned out. So let's take a temperature reading of the soil. Let's see what the soil temperature is. It's about 3 inches down, so the soil temp is 48 degrees. I would like the soil temperature to be at least 60, 65 would be better before I plant up all these tomatoes. But we may not be able to do that because they're outgrowing their pots, so I might have to put them in and cover them all. I would hate to do that. What a pain that would be. Anyway, they look good, don't they? And it's fun to see the different leaves. Like, this is a cherry tomato called a Mexican midget, and Mexico midget, excuse me, that's what it's called. That has a pretty leaf. And then here's a potato leaf variety called Brandywine. You can see that there are earwigs even in the greenhouse, but this is a potato leaf variety. And then, let's see, what's this? This is called Bonnie Best. This is a hybrid. That has an even different leaf. It's just interesting to see all the different kinds of leaves. I used to think all tomatoes looked the same, but they really, really don't. I wanted to show you the Clematis blooming. Clematis, there's many, many varieties. This is a Montana variety called Maylene. And wow, doesn't it look beautiful? There's a bee checking it out. Looks like it's collecting pollen from these flowers, and I've seen native bees all over this too. It's such a beautiful plant, and it just covers this whole side of the house. And I have another one too that I just love. So Clematis, depending on its variety, needs to be clipped after it blooms because it blooms on old wood. So as soon as this is done blooming, I'm going to cut it pretty far back, and then it will grow the rest of the summer new wood, and then next spring that will be the old wood that it blooms on. Does that make sense? Isn't that gorgeous? And then I always have to show you the western redbud tree in bloom because it is spectacular. Later on, when it gets sunnier, this is going to be covered with carpenter bees and bumblebees. They love it. Isn't it gorgeous? Here's another gorgeous thing that I wanted to show you. Artichokes. Artichokes. Little baby ones. Big mama ones. There's another one down there. I'm gonna need to pick this one and eat it because it's getting too big. It's gonna flower if I don't pick it now. Oh look, there's a spider. Can you see? There's a spider living in here. Hello, Mr. Spider. Mrs. Spider. Anyway, I need to pick those and we need to eat them, maybe tonight with our dinner. Do you remember the pea that I showed you with the purple blooms? Well, they make the most amazing pea pods. These are actually snap peas, and they get this sort of blush color on them, on the pods. Look at the sun coming through that. Isn't that beautiful? And they are so tasty. So I really recommend this. This is called blush tendril pea. All sorts of little plums on the plum tree. They're all over. That's pretty exciting. Well, hello. Hello, Janine. Come over here. Let me scratch up some earth for you. Come on over. Come see. Maybe there'll be a bug. Come on. Ooh, I see a worm. Come on, Jen. Here, I'll sit down. Come on, Jen. Come see what I unearthed. Hi. Hi. Get that worm. Good girl. It's fun to watch the native bees and the honeybees working the flowers of the greens that have bolted. There's bees all over this, both honeybees and native bees. They are really all over these flowers. And then of course, if you let your greens go to seed, you can collect the seed and have greens again next year, or they'll just reseed too. Pollen. See those pollen sacs on the back legs of the bee? She's collecting pollen from these blossoms. I wanted to show you that not everything is going swimmingly in the garden. This is a native California honeysuckle, and when it blooms it has beautiful, beautiful blooms. And it's not like non-native honeysuckle which takes over. This is very well behaved. But every year it attracts aphids. I don't know why, but you can see the aphids on the stems. They're all over these stems. And you can see them on the flowers. And I mean, they're everywhere. It's disgusting. I loathe, loathe, loathe aphids. But I used to spray this with vinegar or baking soda or something like that. But now I just wait, because look at this. Let me see if I can get a picture of this for you. Look at what shows up. Oh, come on, Elizabeth, get it together. Where did I see? I wanted to show you what shows up if you just wait. There it is. That is a ladybug larva. See that black thing? That black wormy thing? This is a voracious, voracious predator. And this thing will eat its weight in aphids every hour or something. It's crazy. They're tiny. But if you just leave your aphid problem, the predators will come. They will come and take care of your aphids. You just have to wait. And it's hard to wait because it's disgusting. Trust me, I know, I agree, it's disgusting. Yuck. Yuck. But the predators come and they take care of the prey. You don't need to spray with anything. You especially don't need to spray with anything that is chemicals. But you don't even need to spray with natural stuff. This is what's going to attract the beneficials to your garden, and you want the beneficials. So you have to live with a little bit of grossness and a little uncertainty and some dead flowers. And then eventually these predators will show up. And once they start showing up, your aphid problem will be gone. Trust me. I'm out picking some kale for my lunch. My favorite lunch these days is some sauteed kale or chard. I just pick a big handful and I just put it in a bowl and usually add some beans and 2 fried eggs with runny yolks, crispy whites and runny yolks. And that's kind of like the dressing for the salad. So it's sort of like a warm salad. Man, it's just delicious. And you know, Ginny has been out working in this kale quite a bit, but she hasn't, there's still plenty for all of us. And I really have to say that in the spring and fall, if you live in a colder zone, a spring and a fall garden of greens is really satisfying. It's nice to have something for lunch or dinner every day. You can just come out and pick a, you know, and it goes a long way. Like a handful like this, of course this is packed and I'll chop it into pieces. But if you saute it, of course, it'll be almost nothing. But if you eat it raw, it's a nice big salad. So it's really worth it. It's just a couple of packets of seed and a little bit of sun and good soil, and you can have a salad every day. I guess that's it for today. I keep wanting to go get compost to top off the raised beds and to fill up the fire rings. I have some cucumbers that are just about, I planted them inside and they went crazy and they're kind of ready to be put in the ground. There's so many things that want to be put in the ground, but I just can't do it yet. It's just still too cold. Maybe next weekend things will look warmer. Until then, I hope you have a great week. Isn't this beautiful? Did you see this flower? This is called heuchera, or coral bells. This is a native California flower, but it's native to a bunch of different places in the United States, and it has these charming little blossoms. Anyway, it's good for my woodland garden, dappled shade. So anyway, until then, I hope you have a great gardening week, and I hope that there's no more snow wherever you are. Shout out to you, Jim Buchanan in Syracuse, New York, with fresh snow. I hope things get warmer soon. We'll see you next week. Bye.